Step into the unknown.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Top Flight Banter podcast.
Welcome.
I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Wingate.
Sir.
It is January 1st. Happy New Year's to everyone.
Yep.
Big things to come for our boys in blue this year. In the new year. We'll start today. We have a great episode ahead.
I'm excited
we
about
got
this.
We got something exciting coming up.
I'm excited.
But we'll start with a recap of the games where Missiker, he was hot with his picks from last week.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna have to take Chelsea. I can't not take Chelsea.
Of course.
I can't be wearing this jersey and say Loon Town.
Of course. I'm agreeing.
Yes.
I'm taking Chelsea. I want to see us put together 2 wins in a row.
Please.
We haven't done that. All right, next we've got Villa versus Burnley.
I'm taking Villa.
I'm definitely taking Villa. It's at Palace.
That's
a tough one. It's at Palace.
I'm gonna take Crystal.
I'm gonna also take them. And then we've got City, Sheffield.
Okay, well.
It's an easy choice.
Yeah.
Don't
City.
need to spend too much time on that one.
City.
Here's a tough one. Wolves, Everton. They always have intense games.
They do.
Between the two of them.
I'm-
They're very similar in the way they play.
Yeah.
They're hard-nosed.
Yeah.
They're just looking to beat you in behind.
Well, I'm gonna take.
It is at Molineux, so it's Wolves is the home team.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Wolves.
Wolves has
I
been
think
playing really
They
well
have
recently.
been well. So yeah, I'm gonna take Wolves on that.
Whew, I don't want to. I feel like we got to have some sort of difference in our.
I know. Was that?
I'm gonna take a draw.
A draw. Not even. Okay.
Yep. Next, we've got Forest at home versus Manchester United.
You know what? This is
you
gonna
know
be
what,
a hot take.
Yep, give it to me.
I'm gonna say Forest. I think Forest is gonna. I think they're gonna sneak in a goal and just pack it in.
And then United's just not gonna be able to score.
I think it's gonna be a 1-0 game.
I could totally see that. I could 100% see that. I mean, we got Fulham at home versus Arsenal. Fulham's a team who just kind of grab a random result. It is at Fulham, but I'm gonna take Arsenal. I coming off this loss to West Ham, I can't see them losing 2 in a row.
No, I'm gonna take
I can't
Arsenal.
see it. Arteta's gonna fire him up. Hotspur Stadium. Bournemouth has been playing fantastically. However, most of those games have been at Bournemouth Stadium. I'm gonna take Tottenham.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Tottenham. He won a lot of money this week.
He would have.
Yeah.
Would have. We'll start with our game. Chelsea 3, Luton Town 2. Our boys in blue got the dub. What were your thoughts?
Look, my first thought is we won. Right, I think at the end of the day, for us to win is huge.
Right.
And like I said, I literally texted you when they scored the second goal, saying like Chelsea just loves to make things exciting. Right, that's but it would have been nice to have a shout out for the Blues, but still, we still won. So that's all I care about. The back-to-back wins is huge, especially from our past few games. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, we can't be too picky in
we
current
really can't.
times.
And everybody's like, "Oh, you guys played Loon." Like, bro, a win is a win. Loon Town, they played well. They came back. They fought, scored 2 goals.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to give them that credit. For me, it's like it doesn't matter what team we play. Every team is just a competition. So.
And they've made it tough on. You see, Arsenal won at the last minute on them. Liverpool got a last-second tie against them. It's a tough place to go. That little stadium.
That's the other thing is like it's a whole new environment.
It's a different environment there.
So, but hey, we won. I'm excited. So next game we got Crystal Palace and Brentford. What are your thoughts on that?
I just would say, we both got that one.
We did.
I think Elise is a top player.
He's one of my guys.
He was
top player. Killing it.
I really wish
he was everywhere.
Chelsea would have got him in the summer, and I'm sure he would have helped. But
him and Zaha they do good
Can't
things.
be too surprised. Palace, good result for them.
Yeah, 3-1. Next we got City, Sheffield. I think, in our last video, we kind of said, like, not much needs to be said.
Right.
City did their thing. Who was it? Alvarez and Foden? Who scored?
I think... Was it
Rodri and Alvarez,
yeah.
Yep. Again, Alvarez, he's...
They did what champions do. They took care of business versus a struggling side in Sheffield.
He's a great striker, so... our next game we got is Villa-Burnley, 3-2. So, and there was a red card in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we both picked Villa for that.
We did.
And yeah, I watched that game. It was well fought from both teams. But again, I think, Ollie Watkins, Bailey, they're just, you can't stop them.
Villa definitely, I'll say that the penalty at the end was pretty soft. Happy the Villa won for the pride of my pick and the fact that I have them finishing top 4.
Yeah, that is true.
Burnley made it tough on them though.
I thought you put a curse on them.
I did feel that way
while
watching, but they pulled it out in the end. I'll say Ollie Watkins continues to just be great.
Yeah. Again, like I said, if they continue this, I can see them in top 4.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have them in my top 4, but So next we got Wolves Everton 3-0. Wolves are just going on a tear. They're
we went on different paths on this one. You had the Wolves win.
Well, I think you should have just stuck to your gut. And I know you wanted to say Wolves, but you were just like...
we were going on the same picks over and over. I had to add a little variety in there.
So you went with the draw, and I went with the Wolves. But yeah, it's a good game by Wolves.
They're on a bit of a tear. They're a killer on set pieces right now.
Yeah.
And Hwang Hee-chan is just
the assist.
on a roll.
Yep. So next we got, give me 1 second.
Tottenham.
It was a Tottenham,
or Forest
United. No, it was Forest Man U.
Yeah.
This, I'm happy by this game. I really am.
You called this one. Forest getting the win 2-1 over Manchester United.
Again, Forest they're battling. They don't want to get relegated. They're putting everything into every game. I predicted 1-0 game, but 2-1, not a bad game.
Yeah, I think Manchester United you have to ask some questions about Eric Ten Hag. I don't know what kind of rope they're gonna give him there. Yeah, they are one of the worst offenses.
If this was Chelsea, they would have been trying to sack him months ago.
It's weird. They're still ahead of Chelsea in the table.
Fair, but
just be fair. But you see Anthony Elanga setting up the winning goal.
Yeah,
a guy who they decided to sell while they have Anthony starting at right wing with 1 goal in an entire year. Elanga's got, I think, 4 goals and 5 assists this season. So
if I had to pick my least favorite player in the Prem, it's probably Anthony. I'm just gonna say it right now.
The fidget spinner?
Yeah, I'm just like, I hate watching him play. He's not good. I think he's just a waste of space on the field, but,
I think it's just Ten Hag being loyal to his Ajax guys.
Fair.
He's killing him.
Yeah.
You could say maybe Elanga wouldn't have had the success he had if he stayed at United. I don't know. They're a tough watch in their attack. They have nothing creative going for them.
No.
But good result by Forest. Good result.
You also see just the Forest when they play, they're they put everything into every game.
I really like is Morgan Gibbs White.
Oh yeah, he scored, didn't he?
Yeah, he scored the winner. When I watch them, I feel like he is always the creative force for them.
Yeah.
But what game do we have next?
So we got Fulham Arsenal. We both got that one wrong.
Yeah. Huge title race implications.
It is. We had high hopes for Arsenal coming off of two losses.
Mm-hmm.
It was a surprise, but Fulham did. They played well.
We both picked Arsenal to win, and I think it's hard to pick against the top dogs, but I did say it feels like Fulham just does.
You did. They like that weird team.
They grab a result against somebody. That's what they did.
I will say Arsenal did not play like their normal selves. They
didn't play like champions.
No, there was a lot of just individual play.
Mm-hmm.
A few mess ups that caused some of the goals, And so, yeah, when I watched them, it just didn't seem like they're the champion Arsenal. But
Yeah.
good for Fulham.
Good result. For them.
Next we had Tottenham Bournemouth, 3-1. I think we both picked Tottenham for that.
Mm-hmm.
Bournemouth, they doing well. They that game for them. They lost, but they still played really well.
They're a team that, they impress with the way they try to play, the things they've been doing with if you look at the squad on paper, they don't look like they're. I thought they would have been relegated last season, and they're still here.
Yeah.
They're still making things happen. That being said, Spurs got the results.
They did. Son is.
I think with Ange and the way they're playing this season, they look great. They're doing great.
Yeah. So next we got was that nope. So the next one is Liverpool Newcastle, which is going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's 0-0 at halftime.
All right.
Currently. We picked Liverpool over Newcastle, so we will see when that halftime ends. But yeah, that was our picks. So far we only got one wrong. The Arsenal game.
Well, you. I missed 3 of them.
Oh yeah. Which one did you miss? You missed the Wolves,
I
Arsenal.
had the Wolves, Forest.
Oh yeah.
And I said it would be a 0-0 tie. Forest and United.
But yeah, so those were the results. I enjoyed watching. I didn't watch all the games, but I watched the highlights of the ones I didn't. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
A good week.
It was a good week.
So, moving on to our topic for today's episode. We both brought with us here today our picks. We are going to give our top 10 most valuable players of this Premier League season. Each of us have brought our own list. We haven't seen each other's lists.
Nope.
Most valuable is up to... We didn't discuss exactly what it means, so it could be different between the two of us. Maybe we picked all same 10 players.
Let's hope not.
Probably not. I hope not.
That would be impossible, actually. Maybe not, but...
it could happen, but I don't think so.
A low percentage of that happens.
I've got some deep cuts in
here.
But,
so, I'm going to go first. I'm going to just list all mine out. And then we'll just go through and just talk to them.
Just talk about them.
And there's no specific order in mine. Maybe he does. But I'm going to go from top to bottom. So I have, from Brighton, I have Mitoma.
Okay.
He's one. I got Solly March, also from Brighton.
2 Brighton players right away. Bam.
Yeah. And then I got Son from Tottenham.
Right.
I got Foden. I got Jeremy Doku.
All right.
I have McAllister from Liverpool, Gabriel Martinelli, Saka, Ollie Watkins, and Michael Osley.
Wow.
So...
That is a hot take.
That's a very hot take, isn't it? But here's my thing, so let's go from top to bottom. Mitoma. I think Mitoma, the past few years, he's really gotten himself solidified in this team.
Mm-hmm.
He's really come in, and he's made a name for himself. And so in that winger spot, I love watching him play. He's got 3 goals, 4 assists so far.
Right.
I think he's tied for 3rd in goals. So that's one.
Tell me about this Solly March pick.
So that's
I like the player.
Yeah.
But top 10 most valuable?
So again, this was not top. So when I went through this, it was a guy that I think he's got 3 goals, 1 assist. Right.
Okay.
And so on paper he doesn't look like a great player or, numbers wise. But for me, when I'm watching him, he's in a lot of plays. And he distributes. I think he get 3rd assist, 4th assist. That people don't really see in the stats.
Right.
So for me, when I watch him, I think he's a great creator. Dribbling wise, I think he's really good. So for me, that's my tip. That's my pick. Numbers doesn't say, how good he really is.
It's funny because I also have a Brighton player on my list, but it's neither of the 2 that you named.
Wow, really?
So I'll have to wait and see.
All right. So my next is Son.
Okay.
He's got let's see, he's 12 and 5 right now. 12 goals,
top player.
5 assists.
No complaints with that
No
one.
complaints, and who doesn't love Son? And I think
fan favorite.
He is a fan favorite, but he's also just fun to watch. I feel like every time he gets the ball, he knows what he's gonna do with it.
Yeah.
And his decision making, he already knows before he gets the ball. He knows what to do. And when you see his highlights, or you just watch a game, you just when he gets the ball, you know, like he's not gonna really lose the ball. You know, he doesn't really lose the ball a lot. So for me, he's an exciting player to watch, but he's also he really impacts the game almost. He scores almost every game.
All right. Okay.
So for me, and then next Foden. Foden is one of my top players. I love Foden.
I know you're a fan of Foden.
I love Foden. You know, as much as I hate City, and you know, but Foden to me is just an excellent midfielder. Again, he's like Son, where when he gets the ball, his decision making. Like again, one half turn and he's beating like 4 guys. Right, so his positioning on the field is great.
He's all about getting in those pockets.
Exactly.
The half spaces.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, one half turn, he's beating 3 or 4 guys, right? Mm-hmm. So, for me, he's just, and it's also his left foot is crazy. So, for me, I think Foden is definitely a playmaker, very valuable to City.
Okay.
Jeremy Doku. So, this guy.
This is a crazy choice.
So, the reason I picked him, again, is for the love of wingers. I think I kind of see me when he's playing, and he's just so good, and he's so shifty, and every time he's like one-on-one, you're not gonna get the ball from him, you know.
He's a great dribbler.
Yeah, and that's why I picked him. He's a very good, and I love dribbling, you know. So maybe too much sometimes.
He might be the top dribbler in the Premier League. Really, I don't know the stats,
but the thing is, and
he might be the most successful one this season.
Exactly, and so for me, like, when I watch him, I don't know. That's kind of how I play. When I get the ball, I want to take somebody on. You know, so watching him play is just, you know.
I would say, I would definitely argue against him in the valuable. I think he's a great player.
Yeah.
I guess it is dependent, obviously, when you're talking about just dribbling, success, going at people.
Yeah. See, I would come back, yeah.
But I would say, I think you take him off the team.
So
they won a treble without him last season.
So this is where my list was.
And he's not. Him and Grealish have kind of been give and take in that spot.
So
also.
For him, what I say he's the most valuable? No, but he is one of my favorites to watch.
Okay.
So that's part of the reason I put him on this list. McAllister is the other one from Liverpool. I think he just fit in that team so well right away. And he really impacted that midfield. You've seen him play in the World Cup where he's
a top player.
He is a very top player. So, for me, he definitely is very valuable for the Liverpool.
I would even argue, in my opinion, I think Szoboszlai is the better center mid in that Liverpool midfield.
Okay, is he on your list?
He's not on my list.
Okay.
But I think it's hard to say because obviously they both came in. I think both of them have made the Liverpool midfield so much better this season.
Definitely.
But I think Szoboszlai's ability to just strike the ball with both feet. And
I feel like McAllister's got a good shot too.
He does have a great shot as well. So I would say they both have been. I'm fine with that pick just because they have kind of transformed.
Yeah.
Liverpool to another. I feel like they were kind of off the hunt in the past couple seasons, and that's down to their midfield not being good enough. Yeah. This season they've been back at it. We'll see how they do in this game it's going on right now.
So my other one, Gabriel Martinelli.
Okay.
Again, his stats do not show how good he is. He's probably lower on all the stats, shooting, goals and assists. But I think like he's with like every play he's got something to do with it, you know. Again, he might be the 3rd or 4th assist guy, but
so tell me, you think he's more valuable on that team than Saka or Odegaard?
No, I don't think he's more valuable than them. But for me, I don't think that he's given the credit that he deserves.
Okay.
And so for me, that's why I'm picking him.
I see you have a different understanding of this list than I did.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But Saka, Odegaard. I was gonna pick them. I was gonna pick Saka. But for me, obviously Saka is the most valuable player. But for me, I want to put in Martinelli in this group because I feel like he don't get the love that he really should.
Okay.
You know, so that obviously.
Martinelli's great at driving at people.
Driving at people.
You like the players who drive. I see Matoma. You've got Doku, Martinelli.
Can you tell a pattern here?
I'm noticing a pattern.
But I will say
you like dribblers.
I do have Saka on my list too.
Okay.
So yeah, Saka, he's 6 goals, 6 assists so far.
Top.
He is a top player.
He's a star boy.
He is. Yeah. You can't argue that. So I could not put him on my list.
I hate it as a Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
But Arsenal's got a talent in him.
They do. But hey, he's also a guy that I like to watch. One thing yes, Chelsea's my team, but for me, I appreciate. I appreciate individual talent. So for me, I might watch a team, like Saka or like Arsenal, just to watch Saka because I love the way he plays. Not that I'm supporting Arsenal, but I do appreciate individual talent. That doesn't mean just because I like Chelsea doesn't mean that I can't watch another player. Like Ollie Watkins, he's another guy. Now I love watching Aston Villa, not because I support Aston Villa, but I love watching Ollie Watkins play. So for me, next is Ollie Watkins from Villa. For me, he's almost a part of every single goal that's happened, whether it's an assist or he's scoring himself or he's a third man running or whatever it is, and he's just been tearing it up. So for me, he is the most valuable player for Villa.
Oh, definitely. I also have him on my list.
Yep. So
I think he's got 9 goals, 8 assists. He leads the Premier League
he's got
in assists.
He's 9-8 right now. And my last one is Michael Olise from Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
I watched that game. He was just so good.
Oh, we talked about the Brentford game they just played.
Yeah.
He had 2 goals in that one. He scored on Chelsea
right now,
in the game before.
Yeah, he's got 5 goals right now. But yeah, he's also just really making an impact for Crystal. And he is very valuable for them. He does need to be on the field.
Yeah.
And so
it's a hard judge to say when you look at most valuable gets interesting because it's like you take him off that team.
Right.
They really struggle.
Right.
If you take him and Eze off, I think Palace is getting relegated.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And so I think that's the way I should have gone with my picks. Some of my picks. But that is my 10. But yeah,
I love your list is a hot.
That's
take
a very hot take,
right
and I'm
there.
hoping people got to say something about it.
You are popping things off.
But let's do it.
My list.
Yeah, get your list
I
down.
went in much more of a traditional manner. We'll start with. I kind of had them in an order too. I have Mo Salah as my top most valuable player on there.
Okay.
I think that Mo Salah is someone who's been a top 5 player in the world for 5+ seasons. He's been at Liverpool for I think 7-8 years, and he's been putting up 20+ goals every single season with 10+ assists, contributing all over the place. Unfortunately, we just watched him miss a penalty in the Newcastle game.
That is tough.
Yeah, not
right
great
before
timing.
half, yeah.
But that doesn't change how much of an impact he has. It's like when you're playing against Liverpool, he is just so dynamic with his pace. Some people will say he's not a great dribbler, but he is. He's not flashy.
He does a few cuts.
He is all about a chop.
His outside
speed,
chop is he's taking you in, and again that
his
left foot outside
acceleration
chop.
is fantastic. He can obviously cut in and hit the finesse shot brilliantly. He can even go to his right foot and hit it near post sometimes.
Yeah,
catching the goalies off guard. So for me, he's always been a top player. I think he's got 12 goals, 7 assists, I believe, this season. I have him as number 1. My number 2, I had Ollie Watkins. I know you had him as well. We already said.
Yeah.
He's got. I don't take Ollie Watkins out of Villa, and they're not where they are. They're not in a top.
He's got 9 goals, 8 assists.
Yeah, so. He leads the Premier League in assists, and I don't think that's something most people would expect. But he is just so dynamic with his runs in behinds. Even in the Burnley game. I know the goals were created by him. He's always making that diagonal run.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got so much pace. For seasons now, he's been putting up goals for them, even when Villa hasn't been a team that's been able to control a lot of the possession. So, for him, I think he's been one of the top standouts for this season in the Premier League. Next up, we'll go with. I'll stick with the more traditional ones I went with.
Okay.
I had Virgil van Dijk.
Okay.
I was like, you know, it's easy to stick with only attackers in a list like this. It's more exciting.
Yeah.
But I think Virgil has been back to his best this season. He's a rock. The guy's enormous. He wins everything. Yeah, obviously there's the stat about being dribbled past. I don't know if that really means everything. They throw that. Liverpool fans are always quick to throw out that stat. But, it is something.
Yeah.
It mainly says that players don't want to take him on.
Oh, yeah, the amount of time he is... Yeah.
It's like you're a player. You see guys get in and they'll turn and look for a pass when Van Dijk is coming towards him. Next up, let's see here.
Who you got?
I had Son.
Yeah.
You had as well. I don't think you can.
Son's
a fan favorite. At 12 goals, 5 assists. I also was thinking James Maddison as well.
Is that on your list?
He's not on the list. But I say him as well because I would say he would have been on my list had he not gotten injured.
Okay.
I think the two of them together were a killer at the start of this season. I think they both won a Player of the Month award. But Son is just such a rock. When he cuts in, he really can use both feet so well. He can play in a lot of roles. He can play as the striker through the middle. He can play as a winger. He can drop in and get the ball. Tottenham would struggle dearly without him. Obviously, they lost Kane, and I think it says so much that losing Kane and they are still this good. I think it really says how good of a player Son is. And I would give credit to the coach as well, but, Son's a fantastic player.
Liverpool update. It's 1-0.
Okay.
Liverpool.
Who got the goal? Is it Mo Salah?
Yeah, boy.
Top player. I didn't mean to leave you hanging right there.
Clip that. Put some sad music to that. Just me like...
I love that.
Sorry.
We'll have to check out the goal. See what it looks like later on once it's been posted.
Yeah, it was in the 49th minute, so right after halftime started.
You know who got the assist?
I can in a second.
Maybe a nice Trent whipped ball in or something.
Let's see.
Trent's another player I thought about putting on my list. I ultimately decided against it.
I almost put Trent too.
Trent's fantastic. Him with the transition to midfield almost swayed me.
Nunez.
Okay. Nice.
Good for him.
He's dynamic.
Yeah. I almost put him on, but I didn't.
Well, here's the question. I heard someone else ask you,
what?
Do you think Nunez is a brilliant player capable of atrocious moments, or is he a bad player who's just capable of moments of brilliance?
Dude, I think it's a tough question because I want to go down the route that he's not a great player, but he's got moments.
Okay, sure. It could be either way here.
That's kind of how I see him because he's not like. He has the way he looks and plays like he should be a good player, but he just doesn't. Doesn't perform, but
he'll miss an absolute sitter and then score a worldie.
Yeah, so I think he's got moments that make him look really good. I think
he lacks the consistency.
Thank you.
Obviously.
So
right.
But let me see.
Let me cut back to my list here.
Yeah.
Next up, I have Erling Haaland.
Okay, yeah,
I almost didn't, I figured it would be ridiculous to not put Haaland on the list. I almost didn't.
I didn't because it was so ridiculous
because we've seen City succeed with different strikers. We've seen City succeed without a striker.
City's been in the top 4 for the past, 5 years?
So I look at that and I say, is he really the key cog of that team?
For this year?
I just put him there, and it's because of the goals.
Yeah.
He's a top scorer in the league. Felt like I had to put him there. He's a machine. He's a goal scoring machine. But who else I put from City on that list? Who I think for me is the most valuable player. Who do you think?
Rodri?
It is Rodri.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I have Rodri there. I think Rodri is with De Bruyne out. I mean, if De Bruyne's there, he's not been there this season. But with him out, I mean, Rodri just is.
He is, yeah.
He controls the tempo of their game. He
controls
is
that top of the arc, you know. And
he is just the guy who's swinging their offense back and forth.
He plays on that top middle.
You've obviously seen him score. He scored at the weekend. Yeah. He'll get involved in the goals if he's a defensive midfielder who can get a forward attack. Yeah. He's got a brilliant strike. He never turns the ball over.
No.
He gets stuck in on tackles. I'll say the refs seem to let him get away with plenty of tactical fouls every time they do give it away.
Yeah.
But
that's a good choice, yeah.
He I really think is City's most valuable player to me. Obviously, looking back at the Champions League final, he scored the winner for him.
Yeah.
That obviously helps them in their ranks, but Rodri, for me, is masterful. Masterful player.
I like it. I like that choice.
Next up, I have got Jared Bowen.
Yeah.
Jared Bowen, we were watching West Ham the other day together.
Mm-hmm.
And against Arsenal. He obviously got a controversial assist in that game. Was it out? I don't know. But nonetheless, he's got 11 goals in the season. When you watch them play, they're a counter-attacking team. Yeah. They are. They're a counter-attacking team. They don't always have a lot of the ball, but they fight. And he is just brilliant for the way they play, helping them get out. He always is working. He works like a workhorse. He works like crazy.
He is a workhorse, yeah.
He gets in behind. He holds up the ball for them in the attack.
Yeah.
So they're able to spring these counters where Paqueta will spray it to him, or Kudus and him have been linking up super well. And you see West Ham, 6th place.
I feel like West Ham always rides that.
They're riding that Europa League line.
Yeah, I feel like they're always
several seasons.
Yeah.
They're doing well in the Europa League this season. I think they won their group. And Jared Bowen he's their man. I mean, he isn't the target striker per se, but he is their top goal scorer. He is the guy who gets it done for them.
You said he's got 11 goals?
11 goals. So he's one of the top in the league.
Yeah.
And so he's been doing it for several seasons. Next.
This is your last one?
No, I've got 3 more here.
Okay.
Next up, I'm shocked that you didn't put him on your list.
What team? From Chelsea? Palmer? Dude, I was going to...
Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
That's why they call him Cold in it.
Is it cold in here? Man.
I mean... You watched Chelsea this season, and he's got to be the most valuable player. I don't know where we'd be without the guy. We would be, we'd probably be in 10th, because it feels like we win, we're in 10th. We lose, we're in 10th. Yeah. So we'd probably be in 10th place.
But he is the guy. Without him, we don't have an attack.
Yeah. No, he's... I feel
like I want to redo a few of my guys now.
Do you see what Pochettino said about him? He said, he sees him becoming a Di Maria.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he's comparing him to.
In what sense?
I guess just the play style, just the way they play. I don't know if I obviously he's left-footed. People always compare a lefty to a lefty.
Yeah. I mean, because they're so rare.
And Pochettino's Argentinian, so
yeah,
he's comparing him to a...
That's so hard. I don't know if...
I mean, Di Maria, I think, is... I mean, that's a top predictor. I mean, he's one of the top players of the past decade.
I mean, if anybody gave me that compliment, I'm taking it.
I mean, that's a compliment for sure.
I'm taking that all the time,
But Palmer is someone who... I mean, he's definitely Chelsea's...
I feel like he's been getting better each game.
Every game he's getting better. Sometimes he'll fade out of the game. But he's capable of such moments of brilliance. That left foot is just fantastic at whipping in the ball. He gets in the half spaces. Obviously, he trained with City, and obviously Pep is doing amazing things there. He had the confidence to say, I'm tired, and I want to be the guy. You see, he has that
That's the thing about City. They got such a deep bench that's like it's tough to be have a role play in that team.
Right.
So that's why like going to a team like Chelsea for Palmer is huge.
Palmer has that. He has that quiet, like the confidence, almost like a cockiness of like I am him.
Did you see that video when City won the Champions League and he was trying to raise a trophy, but he's super shy and he was like, and they were like, dude, go. And they're like pushing him.
I didn't.
Yeah, but he was so shy to pull it up.
Hey, that's a Champions League winner right there.
Yeah, it
Palmer.
is. But yeah, he was so shy to put it up there, and then I think somebody made a video of him being shy to like pick it up, and they edited it to him scoring goals at Chelsea. And
but he's got counting his 2 goals he had for City because he scored 2 before he came.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got 10 goals, 4 assists on the season. I
mean that's insane. Oh, he's update 1-1.
1-1.
1-1.
Goal for Newcastle.
Yeah.
All right. Who do we have? Who has nabbed it? Isak.
I had him in my Prem team and my fantasy, and I took him off.
I'm a big fan of Isak.
I am too.
I like his game. He's a really good dribbler.
He's very good
for such a tall guy.
A lengthy dude.
Yeah, he's got some incredible dribbles.
Anthony Gordon was his assist.
Okay. My dad sent me that message about the game.
What was the score?
Yeah, let's see what he said here. His take on the game was that...
This is Scott Pack, shout out.
Yeah, Scott Pack, shout out.
If you're watching this.
He said he's feeling good about the game. He said Jota is back, keeps the other guys hungry. He said Anthony Gordon is the only real threat that Newcastle has at present. So we stop him, and we stop Newcastle. And look at that. Anthony Gordon assist for Newcastle.
This guy knows his stuff. That was a great call.
He knows his stuff.
Maybe we gotta get him on here.
We'll have to get him on the pod. Next up, I have 2 more on my list.
Okay.
I have got Martin Odegaard is who I put on.
You like them, yeah. You're a big fan.
I am a big fan. I think he's just the way he plays. I guess he's a similar style player to Foden. I would say.
Oh yeah.
Both getting in the half spaces. The half turn.
Mm-hmm.
They find key passes and. Saka has the better stats. Obviously, you and Martinelli.
I did. And again,
Saka has the better stats, but I did not put him in. Maybe that's just a personal preference. When I watch, I look at Odegaard, and I'm like, man, he is the guy. He's obviously, Arteta gave him that captain's role. He runs the show. Not to say Saka isn't a great player. Martinelli's a great player. I view Odegaard as the most valuable piece there.
Yeah. I think with Saka, he does a great job in the wing. Mm-hmm. And he can come in, midfield, play low, but he doesn't do that the whole time. He might play you in top of the 18, receive it, and shoot it, but he's not doing a lot of possession play in the middle.
Right.
And so...
He can get pretty isolated.
Yeah. He's very accurate, though, with the shots. He takes 5 shots. He's scoring, 1 or 2, so that's pretty good. But yeah, he's very valuable, but...
I just think Odegaard's
he does
ability
isolate himself a lot.
In those tight spaces where he's dribbling the ball, slipping people in. It's fantastic. And I have 1 left.
All right.
I told you I had a Brighton player on here.
So...
I have...
Wait. Okay, go ahead.
I have Pascal Gross.
Dude, I was going to pick him too, bro.
You're a fan of Brighton.
I am a fan of Brighton. I love watching him play.
So I have Pascal Gross, and so I was thinking of who are the most valuable players in the league. I was thinking about players who can they're key cogs for their team. They're players who, if you take them out of the side, they hurt. And so you look at Brighton these past few seasons. Think of all the players they've lost.
Yeah.
And it feels like, Brighton's going to fall off. They keep selling all their players.
Yeah.
Pascal Gross is someone who he's played as a left back, a right back, a defensive mid, an attacking mid, a winger. He's someone who gets put all over the field. He is... I was diving into the stats for this also. He's leads. I think he's at the top of the league in key passes per game. He is, I think, second in the league in assists. He's just someone who you put him anywhere in that team. He's clearly a leader. He's an older player, so you would think he's fallen off. But I only see that he is just such an important part of that Brighton team. And for Potter left, new coach comes in, he's still someone they're just plugging in all over the field. He's always in the team. And I'm a big fan.
I like that choice. I do. You know, for me, I almost put him on my list, but I think it's tough just because he's on Chelsea. Enzo. I think he's a guy that he has so much potential, but I think just the team he's been put with doesn't help. You know his skills, and he's a guy. Yeah, I mean, I genuinely think he's a great player, and I think put with the right guys, you know, I think he can be a great player. But I didn't put him on the list just because he isn't really the most valuable on Chelsea. But
okay, I'm of two minds with him. Last season watching him, I don't know. I think it is the construction of the team right now.
Yeah.
But it is... I am unsure what his best role is in this Chelsea team. I guess he's more of an 8.
Yeah, but
he's a box-to-box.
The thing, he gets so frustrated because when he's in that midfield and he's playing, ball comes in hot to him. He does a one-touch, you know, to split the team, you know, 2 guys. And... You know, his teammates' touch is just trash, and they get loose. And the amount of times that happens, it's like now you're making him look bad, you know, because you're not keeping possession. You know, that's Chelsea has issues with that a lot. With their first touch is it gets taken. So, so I do think that the guys around him have kind of making him look bad, but he's an honorable mention for me if he was on the right team or right players.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, I like that list. Yeah.
That is our list of top 10 most valuable players. You see, we took that in different ways.
Yeah, so I would say like next time maybe I'll take a different route. I went valuable / just guys I like to watch. That's kind of the mindset I went with. Definitely. If obviously I would take out Doku for City because like you said, if you do take him out of the team, City's still gonna be City. They got Grealish that can fit in that spot very nicely. Yeah,
and when I think about with Rodri earlier this season, obviously De Bruyne's been out for most of the whole season, but in the patch where Rodri was out, that's when they were having their biggest struggle of the season.
So if I had to take some guys out of this, Jeremy, Doku, I would take him out. Solly March, I think he's a guy that I like to watch. Is he the most valuable? You could debate that. But again, I like to watch him play because his numbers don't really say a lot about how good of a player he is. Besides that, because I have Matoma, Solly, Son, Foden, Jeremy, McAllister, Martinelli, Saka, Ollie, and Michael Olise. So.
All right.
But at the end of the day, I'm happy with the list. All these guys I love to watch.
I love it. Yeah. And so we have one Premier League game tomorrow. We have Brighton at West Ham. We can do a quick prediction of that one game.
What was it, Brighton, West Ham?
Brighton, West Ham. Who's the home team? That's a tough game to call. I mean, they're both cutting on a similar path right now in those Europa League, right below the top 4 teams. All right, it is at Bubble Central.
So, I don't know. I'm going to go...
That's a tough call. Who you got?
I think I'm going to go with West Ham on this one.
West Ham.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with our Brighton train we've been rolling with and take Brighton.
Okay.
I
like this.
De Zerbi. Brighton's got to be one of the most fun teams to watch in the league.
I agree with that.
They're a goal-scoring machine. Obviously, they whooped up on Tottenham a few days ago.
Yeah.
Wasn't in our most recent predictions, but it was one of the recent games. 4-1, was it? And beat them.
Yeah.
They're a great team. But other than that...
You want to say the score? What do you think the score is going to be?
I think the score will be West Ham Brighton.
Yeah.
I'm going to take... I don't think it's going to be... I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Okay.
I'm going to say 3-1 to Brighton. 3-1
I was
Brighton.
gonna say, I think it's gonna be 2-1 West Ham.
Okay. 2-1. We got 2-1 West Ham.
Yep.
3-1 Brighton. So
We'll see.
we will have to see next time. There is a little bit of a break. We have cup matches coming up. We will talk about those in our next episode. We're hoping that Chelsea can come out victorious over
Please.
the mighty
Just keep on going.
Middlesbrough and Preston in the cups and make
But we
our
have
way
to.
to the final. I
That'd be so much fun to watch.
would love to see us get a trophy out of a tough season. But other than that, that is all for today. Thank you for tuning in.
If you guys want to watch this on YouTube, we have the Top Flight banter on YouTube as well as on Spotify. If you guys want to tune in, they can be both on those platforms. Other than that, I think it's a great episode. That's all I got. Peace.